The market is seeming to be less volatile, geared towards the tariffs. The more news that comes out about the tariff war between US and China and the rest of the world, we're actually seeing the market react less and less as this tariff news is starting to actually be fatigued in this market. So in this video, I'm going to go over, is the bottom in? I'm going to give the bull case, I'm going to give the bear case, as well as why I just truly believe that the risk reward in this market right now is very high to the upside rather than the downside. I'm going to go over the top projects in each narrative that I'm looking at right now, and also more money-making activities you can do by just participating in platforms and projects that have upcoming airdrops or prize pools. So let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more every single day and every week here on In the Game. We have you covered from crypto gaming, AI, RWA, and more right here on In the Game. So smash the like and sub down below. As well, a big shout out to all of our sponsors here on In the Game. We have some incredible sponsors from 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗀, Cradle Games, Medieval Empires, as well as our exchange partners down below. We have Blowfin, Bybit, as well as 𝗿𝗏𝗡. And in this video down below, there should be a link in the description to potentially earn up to a $10,000 ticket in the upcoming 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗀 token round. This launches at a super low FDV of just $3 million, and you will actually have a chance to invest before this goes live. This is going live on Kraken on April 16th. Yes, just on Wednesday. You can jump in down below and you can grab a piece of the upcoming 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗀 token sale. I do think at 3 million FDV, it's going to be pretty hard for this one to not eclipse that on launch. So you can check that out down below in the description for your chance to win an allocation into the upcoming 𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗪𝗀 token. And of course, if you need a place to trade in this market, it is definitely a trader's market right now over a holder's market. So you can check out down below Blowfin. This is my #1 go-to centralized exchange for both longs and shorts. No KYC. You can check out Blowfin down below. This is where I'm actively trading every single day. Now let's jump into these markets, because right now we are seeming to stabilize a little bit on Bitcoin and other altcoins, as we see Solana's up 23% this week. We have even Ethereum, which has been the biggest laggard in the entire market, up 5% this week. We have Bitcoin up 7% this week, and we've really been hovering around this $84,000 level for the past couple of days, and it seems like the consensus in crypto has really shifted from extremely bearish to now assuming that we may have seen the worst of it. And to be completely honest with you, I do think the tariff news and the tariff updates are way more priced in now. We've already seen probably the worst of that, from Trump imposing tariffs on everyone, and then the China trade war and them imposing tariffs on the US, and now China wants to completely abolish the tariff situation. Right now we see President Trump saying the stock market is very strong after getting used to tariffs. Now, I do think the market is stabilizing a little bit after tariffs. I don't know that the stock market is extremely strong currently. We also see the volatility of Bitcoin is actually less volatile than the volatility of an asset class like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So that is crazy to see. But right now, the extreme fear is still in effect. I mean, fear and greed is still under 25. And if we take a look at where we are historically, you really want to buy in at times of extreme fear. Now, more people on crypto Twitter and on YouTube are starting to get a little more bullish. I would not be surprised if we actually do see a rally into the summertime. Typically, summertime is a very slow time for both stocks and for crypto, just because, as they say, the day traders leave their desk, they go to the Hamptons for a vacation or whatever the case is. So I do see a little bit of a rally kind of brewing up at this point in time, leading into summertime, where I think summer is going to be a very slow, choppy, if not downward time for crypto before a very bullish Q3 and Q4. And right now, I think that it is a great time to potentially start looking through the altcoin sector and see what you want to stack up long term, because I think a lot of these prices for a lot of these cryptos that we are interested in specifically are at cycle lows. I mean, we're looking at Beam lower than its launch price, which is just crazy to see. We're looking at stuff like Prime, which is at our entry price from almost 2 years ago. So there are a lot of value buys in this market. So in this video, I'm going to go over the coins and narratives that I'm looking at, as well as some things you can do in this market to start prepping up for future ROI. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Number one, you guys know I love Avalanche. We've been buying this all the way up from the bear market at $11 all the way up to 14, 20, and I think 20 is my solid DCA range still. Like we were buying at 19, I was buying this coin at $11, I was DCAing at $14. I just think Avalanche is an absolute no-brainer for this cycle. We have the AVAX pillow sitting behind me there, very, very bullish. The Avalanche C chain is also going all in on DeFi, and as we're seeing on other chains like Abstract, like Ponzi's and DeFi, these things still have a big time place in crypto. People love that percentage yield. They love to see the number go up. They love to estimate how much money I'm going to make in a certain protocol. And then you also see the metrics. 3.5 million daily transactions on Avalanche, about 500,000 unique active addresses daily, and 37.7 million overall unique active addresses. So this is pretty crazy metrics whenever it comes to Avalanche, and not to mention they have two of the biggest games in all of crypto gaming, one of the narratives that I am still the most bullish on in this cycle. We have Off the Grid, which their mainnet goes live on April 24th. That is the speculative date that the mainnet is going to launch. People are going to start being able to transfer, buy, sell NFTs on the marketplace. Your assets will be tradable on chain on OpenSea, and you're also going to see your serial number for your NFTs and also crossplay. So if you have a PlayStation but maybe not a gaming PC, you can now play with your friends who have a gaming PC. So that is a very bullish update. You also have MapleStory over on Avalanche. You have BlackRock, RWA over on Avalanche. So to me, AVAX is definitely one of the best DCAs in this market. Anything 20 and under, I think, is a no doubt about it buy, especially considering the market cap. It is the 13th largest coin by market cap in crypto, but it is so undervalued versus other coins like Cardano, like Dogecoin, Tron, etc. And as these multiply throughout Q3 and Q4, in my opinion, I think that Avalanche reaches probably near that $100 mark, or if not even eclipses all-time highs if we see some sort of an alt season later this year. So I definitely love Avalanche at these levels. And if I'm looking at other DCAs just through the gaming sector, I would be looking at Immutable at 42 cents. I know I don't love the technology behind Immutable, but it is the #1 gaming coin by market cap. So if you're invested in gaming, I think it is a no-doubter that should be in your portfolio. I also think that Superverse and Ronin at 50 cents as well as 56 cents for each respective asset. I think that these are no-brainers. You have Super, which is partnered up with so many different protocols. A lot of people talk about what is Super, what does it do? I think that will come more to the fold mid to late year this year. You're going to see the product that's brewing in the background, because I do think it is, no pun intended, super interesting what they're doing. They're bringing a lot of things together under one roof in the gaming niche specifically. And then Ronin, I just think this is the most criminally undervalued token in all of crypto, if not, first of all, crypto gaming, but I think overall crypto. The network metrics here on Ronin are just, you can't dispute what's going on their network. Every game that comes to Ronin just starts exploding in metrics, the player counts, the in-game spend. So to me, I think the few that I'm isolating at this point in time in the gaming sector specifically, I'm looking at AVAX, Super, Beam, Ronin, and I do think Echelon Prime is still at a value level. And you might be wondering, I would like to see this go a little lower. However, I think that at 270, it's a great entry price. We do see the Prompt token climbing in value. I think last I saw this was at 500 million FDV, and stakers of Prime will now earn Prompt weekly going forward. And this is going to go until, I believe it's 2027, that Prime stakers are going to be receiving Prompt tokens as rewards. So now this has just become like a weekly payout. If you are staking your Prime, there is still a big value proposition here, as you're earning a token in Prompt, by the way, which is one of the largest AI coins by market cap. Whenever you look at things like GPU and other ones that have really fell during this time period, right now Prompt's at a $373 million fully diluted market cap. It's up 51% since its launch. So people are definitely seeing this as undervalued, and the tech is phenomenal. So I do think this is a great value proposition. And now that there's more clarity that you're going to be receiving weekly rewards from the Prompt token for staking Prime, I think that is a little bit of a bull case for Prime, because people will still want to lock up to be able to just earn Prime or hold prime, but earn prompt in the background, which is seeming to be one of the biggest AI launches of this cycle. And we'll dive into other niches in just a second, but to keep on the gaming note, right now, I tweeted this weekend, I think that gaming is actually in one of the healthiest places it's been in quite some time. I know there's been trials and tribulations in the gaming sector, but currently we're seeing more products simultaneously win than we've maybe seen ever. We're seeing 𝗥𝗄𝗃 coming out with their new MMORPG. We have Off the Grid crushing it. MapleStory's early access numbers are off the charts as well. We see Raven Quest, which had a successful TGE, as well as their game is by far the #1 game right now on the Immutable network, which Immutable's been longing for a hit. So right now that's in play. We have Abstract. Bitcoin is essentially a game. It's a Ponzi game at that point. So there's a lot of liquidity flowing there. But right now, Play Cambria has a $700,000 and rising prize pool, and it goes on for the next 11 days. So you have plenty of time to jump in here. This is going to earn you Abstract XP first and foremost. It's on the Abstract chain, where a lot of these other apps have been popping off recently. But we see here 3,846 players were online this morning. There's over $700,000 in in-game spend over the last 48 hours. And yes, there's a $700,000 prize pool in this game right now if you just jump in and start participating. It is a risk-to-earn MMORPG with massive on-chain stakes. And yes, this is over on Abstract, so you can earn Abstract XP for a future Abstract airdrop. And I've been talking about this for a little bit. We talked about it with On-Chain Heroes, with Bitcoin, as well as Cambria. This is easy ways to jump in and qualify for a future Abstract token airdrop. We also have updates in the Bitcoin economy. This is kind of consolidated around $7. It got up to $16 in this Ponzi. They're coming out with new updates today. The macro strategy, which is the first monetary layer built in the Bitcoin economy. So it's just pretty cool to see what's going on the Abstract network. We also have Dungeons of Fortune, which is another one that kind of reminds me of a DeFi Kingdoms from last cycle. The coffers in the dungeon are opening in 24 hours. There's a community sale is what this is alluding to. So on April 15th, and then on first come, first serve on April 15th, all community, no snipers, everyone enters at the same price. Tokenomics, Heroes, and Gitbook coming next. So this is actually happening tomorrow, Tuesday, April 15th. So right now, gaming is in a really good spot. We also have DeFi Dungeons doing some pretty cool things. There's a lot of games across multiple networks that are coming out soon. I do think that the gaming scene is in one of the healthiest spots it's been in quite some time. And I wouldn't be surprised that after Off the Grid mainnet, we see a little more justification in the fact that Web3 does belong in crypto and that this sector does have a future beyond what people have seen so far, because it has been a little slow. It has been a little disappointing at times, but I do think gaming is gearing up, and especially in the right market climate for tokens like Gun, which launched at peak fear at this point in time. I think there's a very bright future for tokens and quality projects like Gun, like Quest, and upcoming tokens in games like MapleStory, etc. And moving into other niches quickly, like AI and RWA. RWA is going to be a little bleak today, as you know, we saw something that we really haven't seen in the RWA space. We'll get to that in just a second. But right now, AI is definitely still at the focal point of this cycle for altcoins. We see NVIDIA announcing a $500 billion investment plan to build and expand AI infrastructure in the US. This is very bullish for AI coins like Prompt long term, but more so like coins that I have high conviction in, like Tau and Render. I think you cannot own enough Tau and Render currently. Those are my two top AI tokens. I think both have high upside, relatively low downside, as well as just quality teams, quality products that have been building here for years. And now let's get into the not so good. So RWA has been pushed to the front of crypto. We've seen BlackRock get involved with RWA. It feels like under Trump, maybe some utility coins as well are going to see more liquidity and more attention. But at the same time, there are still things going on in this industry that make us so unserious. And yes, I mean, I'll be honest, I lost a good amount of money here with Mantra Ohm. This was my top RWA holding, and a lot of people, like, nobody really saw this coming. And if they say they saw it coming, yes, the price felt propped up at $6, but 91% in one day is an insane drop. I know they've been doing some stuff on Twitter and on YouTube. I know they were on Rand's show this morning, just kind of talking about the incident, what happened, that it wasn't an internal issue, etc. Just a bunch of big whales, which on chain, it did show them transferring out money, but 90% on a token that was at this point, 90%, it was a $10 billion FDV token. Like, this is not supposed to happen in this industry with coins that are supposed to feel safe. Like, they were attached to a United Arab Emirates product development company, property development company called 𝗪𝗥, and it just did not feel like this is the type of project that's going to drop 90% over the course of one day. It does feel like similar to a 𝗘𝗟𝗏𝗪 situation, and this was a top crypto by market cap at this point in time, partnered with one of the biggest property companies in the UAE, essentially rug pulled. Like, it's pretty crazy to see this industry still cannot be taken seriously, and it's a niche that's supposed to be considered like safer, RWA, it's backed with big players in real estate. But I took the L on this one. I know a lot of you guys probably took the L on this one as well. I don't think anyone saw this coming, and especially a 90% drop in one day. I think that's pretty ridiculous, just to say the least. And I know plenty of other people who were bullish on this token. It was the #1 RWA token by market cap. You get blindsided sometimes. It's an L that I have to take and I'm willing to take. And unfortunately, I'm going to start looking at other options inside of the RWA niche, because I had a lot of eggs in the basket of Mantra. And this is just one of those times in the cycles that I have to take it on the chest. And it is what it is. We have to move forward from here. And I'm going to start doing research into some other RWA projects. And not to FUD, but like, I've heard things about Ondo that aren't so attractive. I've heard things about other RWAs that it's kind of smoke and mirrors. And I think Mantra Ohm obviously has proved a little bit to be smoke and mirrors. So it's a tough one, and a lot of people won't come on here and talk about their losses. But yeah, I mean, I rode this one down all the way. I wasn't at my wallets whenever this happened. I was able to tweet about it, but I had no access to be able to get in and sell this token at any point. Really, I started selling it at like 80 cents. And at that point, it doesn't even feel worth selling, right? And it's at 50 cents right now, over 90% down on the 24 hours. It's just insane to see from a protocol and a niche that's supposed to be considered safe. So just full disclosure, like, this happens. It's unfortunate. It's crypto. And I'm willing to take this one on the chest and wear it, and we'll move forward from here. But that's about it for today, guys. Bullish on the gaming sector, very bullish on the AI sector, but really only the top quality AI coins. I'm not really delving into low market cap stuff right now. There is some good news out there with 𝗟𝗏. They're actually doing AI-powered game level creation with 𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗃, one of my favorite low market cap gaming projects. So really cool to see here. And obviously with NVIDIA pushing so hard with a $500 billion investment for AI infrastructure, I think that's very good for both 𝗏 and Render. We talked about gaming. We talked about things you can do right now on Abstract and other games to potentially have current and future ROI. So if you enjoyed this video, down below, hit the like button and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the current market, the Mantra situation, as well as coins that you are accumulating. I will see you guys on the next one. As always, play well, my friends, and of course, stay bullish, my friends.